Okay, here we are. Do you see the red thing? That means we're live. And this is how it works. Good morning, beautiful staff. Good morning, thin texters. How was
Good
everyone doing?
morning.
Good morning.
That was good. It was almost perfectly in unison. Rebecca, you were a little late. I guess you're
I
used
was
to being
late.
the soloist.
Missed my cue.
You're the soloist.
Wanted to focus here.
How's everyone doing today?
Good.
I'm excited.
Good.
School's starting.
Very good.
Kids are going back to school.
We're gonna get
Very
into
exciting.
that. Yeah, I think that's kind of the big news right now. But before we do, for those people watching who are Yankee fans, and yes, Jenny Aurelia, I'm speaking to you. You know that the Yankees made some great trades recently. They got Anthony Rizzo, Joey Gallo. I don't think most of my staff is really familiar with them, but they're very, very good players. The Yankees basically upgraded.
It sounds like My Cousin Vinny Part 2.
How does it sound like My Cousin Vinny?
Joey Gallo,
Oh,
Gallo.
yes.
Rizzo.
Johnny two times.
Never have too many Italians on the team. If nothing else, the food in the locker room will be better. But we've also made a trade, as you can see. So we've swapped out Jackie and Thea for Trisha.
Hello. Good morning.
Before anyone gets panicky, we haven't swapped. We've added Trisha as a free agent, so we didn't have to give anything up for her. But I do want to introduce Trisha to everybody. Trisha has been with us for what, about 4 months now?
Yeah, almost. Yep.
Okay, good. So Trisha, why don't you introduce yourself? And a lot of people have met you already, so you should feel very comfortable. But introduce yourself and tell us, I don't know, probably the most personal thing you could think about yourself. Your biggest secret.
Not the biggest secret. I got 2 kids. Is that the big one?
I don't think that's
so
a secret.
I am a Old Bridge resident. I've been with FinTech almost 4 months. I'm happily married. I have 2 kids. They're twins. They're 12 years old in the Old Bridge school system. I moonlight as a hairdresser on the side. But that's really it.
Okay.
I don't know. What else you want to know?
Well, what I'd like to know is what is it that you like, and I'm assuming that you like working with us and in
Yes,
this
of course.
wellness
I love
and weight loss
everybody.
space. So what is it that you like about it?
So I have met some really great people. I work with some really awesome people too during the day.
So you have to
I've
say
kind
that.
of no, I don't. I really do, though. I really do. I really enjoy working there. I've found my way back to health working there also. I did the program. I'm really enjoying that also.
Tell us a little more about that.
So I'm in reset now, and I'm down about like almost 25 pounds since
Amazing.
starting working there.
Wow.
Yeah, started probably
Great.
around July
Great.
4th. So I'm feeling really good. Confidence levels back up a little bit. But I'm feeling great.
Awesome. Yeah, and you've had some other improvements also besides just the weight.
What? Like what?
Like, I mean, I was hoping you would tell us, but for example, your skin.
Oh yeah, that's been a big thing. Almost my whole adult life, not so much as a kid. My skin, for some reason, I guess I'm assuming hormonal and stress related. It's looking great.
All right, cool.
That's great.
And now you're glowing.
Yeah. And I just got back from the gym, so I'm glowing double.
All right, good.
I agree with you, Trisha. My skin never looked better on program.
Yeah, it really does. That was the biggest. I mean, besides the weight loss, that was really a big change.
Yeah, a lot of people notice that. Jen, what is that about from a technical perspective? Why does
So
the
it's-
skin improve?
It's detoxing. I mean, when
She's
you
out.
start pulling toxins, we lost Trisha. When you start pulling toxins out of the body, the skin starts to glow. You know, it's looking at the skin. It's your number one indicator besides, looking at eyes of health. So if your skin is messed up, then it pretty much says you got toxicity throughout.
Do you remember when I did the program and my fingers turned black?
I
and
do.
I had all the toxics coming out of my hands. It was so gross, but it's never happened again. And I like.
So it's funny, Corinne.
so
I did a mini round about 6 months ago or a year ago. I don't even remember if you guys were in the office, but we were wearing gloves at the time, and my gloves were green. I was drinking a lot of green juices.
Yes,
but
I remember you saying.
do you remember that? It was coming out of my pores.
Interesting. Well, just so you know, the black finger, that's a pretty dramatic response. That doesn't happen with most people, but
Right.
apparently it had to happen.
Yeah.
And so it did. And I always say that.
So is
our
that a good thing
clients-
or a bad thing?
It was, in your case, it was a good thing. It needed to happen.
Come out. Yeah, there's an expression in homeopathy, because I use homeopathy at home as a modality, as a healing modality. Better on the skin than within. If you don't see it, if it's not coming out, it's attacking your organs. So if it's coming out on the skin, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Come
So you're
out.
welcome, Corinne.
Yeah, for your black fingers.
But I'm fond of saying that our clients get younger, healthier, and better looking. And
Taller.
that's something that, Rebecca, I'd love to use that in advertising, but then we'd have to show some studies to prove it. So that's not something that we can prove empirically, but yet it happens, and it happens every time, in my experience.
Yeah.
It does. It definitely does. And then that would make it seem really shallow too. Like it's not about the health. You get better looking. I mean,
That's
Who
not
doesn't
shallow.
wanna
That's
get
just truth.
who cares about being healthy? You look really good.
It's better to look good than to feel good. Somebody said that, right? All right. So obviously Labor Day is right around the corner. For the people who are watching us now, if you're watching us, it's probably from some beautiful exotic location. So thanks a lot. No, but thank you for joining us. And Labor Day to me is the saddest day of the year. At least the evening of Labor Day is. Once sunset comes, then reality is about to hit. Corinne, do you agree?
Unless you're
1,010%.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Because my favorite time of the year is the summer. Nothing better to me than it's very reminiscent to me as to when I was a child, because we grew up, we went to the pool club, we went and we just played for hours and hours and hours on end. And I very much so try to do the same thing. Like, obviously I work, I get my stuff done, and then I take the kids out to play for the day. And I'm so sad when it comes to an end, because I just love my time and I don't want to give it back.
Understood. Yes. For me, I was once driving back from Montauk, and I just saw this line of cars. It was miles and miles long. And on top of the cars were like all the suitcases and bicycles. And there were kids literally looking out the back of the cars like this. And they just looked so sad. And now I hate the evening of Labor Day. Rebecca, do you feel that way, or do you look forward to Labor Day?
So it's funny hearing Corinne talk. I used to feel like you feel, Corinne, because I feel like when they're younger, they want to be with us so much, right? And that is the precious time. Like those are the gifts. And then kids get older, and suddenly, my son is 14, and he's still probably the sweetest 14-year-old I know. Like, he's a great, sweet, affectionate kid. But he doesn't want to be with me all that much. He wants to be with his friends. He wants to be in his room. So now I kind of look at it like it feels like it's time for him to get back to his routine, because idle time for kids that age, even though it wasn't idle, my guys were running around to hockey a lot and friends and things like that. But it's time for him to get back to structure. So, and especially after last year, I'm really looking forward to that for him. So, and he gets to start playing with his new hockey team, and the weather cools off, and I get to put on a sweater. So,
Okay,
Sweater weather.
that sweater. I'd rather wear a t-shirt all year round.
I don't want sweater weather. If I could live in Florida all year round, sign
You
me
could.
up.
Well,
Send
you
me
could.
out. I wanna
Yeah.
go.
good hair
The
weather
weather
is just
is
around
not
the
going
corner.
anywhere. Yeah. It's there waiting for all of us. That's where we're all going to go to die. But Jen, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
So there's a new wrinkle, obviously, this year with Labor Day. I mean, Labor Day is always, in my estimation, somewhat sad. But this year, we don't know what the heck is going on. It's a little confusing.
Weird. Yeah.
It seems like things might get back to normal, but they might not. What are you expecting? What do you think people who are watching us right now can expect?
I think if the last year has taught us anything, it's to expect the unexpected. So we kind of have to be ready to shift no matter which way it goes. I'm hearing rumblings that schools are going to close. I'm hearing rumblings that schools are going to stay open. I am hoping for open. I
agree. They got to stay
yeah.
open.
And I think if we kind of like push for that, I think, some of it's in the hands of the parents. I think we forget that, hey, Trisha, I think that we forget that we have some say in it. Our tax money pays for our schools. So to a certain extent, if we want it, we push hard. So I love sweater weather. So I'm looking forward to that too. Not exactly on the vein of the question you just asked, but I don't know.
well, let me pose this to you and to everyone. I mean, you said that we can expect the unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
How can people keep their equilibrium in a world where you never know what's coming down the pike?
Well, there's this game called life, and it throws a lot of stuff at us.
Well, you're waxing philosophic now.
I am. You asked me. So, a lot of the equilibrium comes from good food, good nutrition, good sleep, which many of us here don't get, and just keeping balance in your life. So a lot of what gets thrown at us, we all have, if we all started to list the things that are going on in our lives, I think our, hey guys, people who are popping in to watch would probably have their heads pop off, right? But the reality is we just kind of pick up and keep going because that ability to handle things comes from within. Yes. We're always doing the what is it, lunge and parry? Is that the right term?
Is that the dance?
The lunge and parry? Bob and weave, yeah.
Turn and twist, yeah.
Yeah, all of it. Whatever you want to say, yeah. So, life throws stuff at us, but we have to kind of adapt or not thrive, not survive.
Right? Now, yeah. Trisha, one thing about you, and you and I have actually had this conversation, is that you are pretty steady. You're a different character in that respect, right? I mean, you kind of keep it calm. So, what's your secret?
I try.
That's it.
I don't really know. I've learned to adapt that over time. Fun fact or not so fun fact about me, my son is a cancer survivor. So he dealt with that from very young. He was 7 years old when he was diagnosed, and almost 5 years later, he's thriving. So, but prior to that, I ran at a very high speed, chase. I was always working. Not that I put myself, work before my family, but, I was a hairdresser. So I was working in a salon and I was doing side jobs and I was doing weddings. So for me, I was always go, go, go. So when he got sick, it took me back and it made me slow down and it made me appreciate and it made me not sweat the small things. Like, things you can't change are things you can't change. There's no reason in getting crazy over it because you can't change it anyway. So most things in life, it is what it is. And you have to slow down and realize that it's really not that important. And things are important, but it's not, it's not going to kill you. Like you can slow down and take it easy, Right.
Yeah,
so for me, that's the way I am. And it made me more like even keeled,
Yeah. It's interesting to me that you came to that conclusion because a lot of people who have been in your situation go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've been spooked now. There's a precedent and they tend to be more nervous.
Yeah.
So it really, I mean,
that nervousness is always here. Like that nervousness is always here, but I can't change it. What is in the cards is in the cards. So we take one day at a time. We don't take things for granted, and we keep moving on a daily basis. And almost 5 years later, it's worked. So I kind of am trying to live my life that way.
Yeah. And Rebecca, I know for you, I know that there are certain practices, certain things that you do that you've told us have been effective for you. So what is it that you like to do to maintain your equilibrium, and how are you going to do that with Labor Day and whatever's coming for us?
Right. I just want the disclaimer that even though I do all this work, I'm still crazy.
Yes,
Um,
of course. Thank you for that.
Imagine what I would be like if I didn't do all these things. But I have a daily meditation practice that I really stick to, and it's gotten longer over the years. So like now I do 20 to 30 minutes every morning.
I thought you were going to tell me 6 to 7 hours.
Oh God, stop! Totally. How much do you do, Dr. Rendell?
I don't meditate currently. Yeah.
Well, to give you an idea, most of the guided meditation apps start at 5 or 6, so it's grown. And really trying to, enhance
Goes on the counter.
my Zen with things, a lot of energy work, a lot of energy healing, sound baths, Reiki, singing bowls are an example of sound baths. So I try to get to one of those whenever I can. And movement, there's a lot to be said for movement. There's endorphins. There is, you can feel almost like a moving meditation. So whether it's maybe just even a walk. So these are things that I try to implement to keep me more sane. I wouldn't say sane, but more sane, a little bit more sane.
It's funny. We recommend that everyone walks, and generally you don't have to walk when you're on our program. You don't have to exercise at all to lose weight and to get healthier. However, Jen, you and I often recommend it for the mental aspects of it, to take a walk, to get out of your own headspace.
Yeah, get out of your head. Yeah. So when you go inward, nothing good goes on there because we got like all the chatter and the voices that are. So the best thing to do is to get out of your head and to get out in the world. And like we spend a lot of time doing this.
Yeah.
Screens,
Very
phones,
Sure.
like close-up desk work. It's that kind of society. But we go inward that way and it kind of shrinks us down. When we go out, like we kind of go outward into space, it takes us out of the spin that's going on in our heads. So walking is like one of the best exercises, especially if you're looking up and out at the tree. It's a big deal. Yeah.
I used to be a runner, and that was more the purpose of anything. Is I used to
Just to get out.
get up and run every morning, and it would get me out of my head. And now because of knees and back and feet and all this stuff,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
But I have found walking to be that same feeling. Yeah.
See,
So
the walking for me has never been the same feeling as getting out and going for like a run. But I'm actually excited because I feel like, all right, both kids are going to be in school, which is like a big deal in my house.
Right.
And I am going to take time for myself. And I'm going to go back to going to my favorite place in the whole wide world, which is Homedale Park. And I'm going to start walking Homedale Park.
Yeah.
And then hopefully by the time I'm done, I'll be able to run the 3 miles.
So running's great because it releases that adrenaline. You've got all those endorphins pumping through your body. I'm a reformed runner. The only problem I have as a health coach with running is that it can fry your adrenals long term. So 3 miles a couple times a week, fine. But the runners who are constantly going do so much adrenal damage like that. It's a tough sport. So it's great. I used to do the same thing. I would do 3 miles, but I did 3 miles 7 days a week. And
I was never that.
I
did
did
like
5 miles 7 days a week.
it's a lot.
I would get till 2 in the morning and orange heels, and then I'd go out and run, and now my knees and my feet are like
Right. Exactly.
That's with me. Instead of running, what I did was I got an electric skateboard. And so now this is my new hobby. My new hobby is I go on my skateboard, I go fast, and I fall
And
hard.
you fall down.
Do you really? You go on your electric skateboard?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's very cool.
You were supposed to videotape this
It's
and
called a
share
one-reel.
it.
No, I
Oh,
don't
no.
want to video myself falling. Wait till
We
I
need
get good
video.
at it, and then I'll do it.
You need to upload the video.
Yes, yeah, we need to post a video of me. But anyway, this is what I've decided to do in lieu of running. And it's really, really cool, even though everyone I tell about this tells me how crazy I am and how I'm going to crack my skull.
It's your midlife crisis.
It's, well,
You
it
can
was
get the
either a
sports
Porsche.
car. You got the skateboard.
Yeah, it was either a Porsche or it was an electric skateboard. So I opted for the electric skateboard. Maybe next year I'll get the Porsche. I don't know if I could have a midlife crisis. I think I'm past my midlife right now.
Yeah.
So I'm on the, what would it be, the 3/4 life? No, I think I'm about halfway. So listen, We have Labor Day coming up, and after that is all the back to school craziness and the changing of the schedules. And this, in my experience, makes people a little batty. And when people are batty, they tend not to think about themselves or their health. And it's part of our job to keep everyone focused. So, Jen, what are we doing to help keep everyone focused and healthy in a time of change? And we know how human beings are with change.
Nobody
Dr.
likes it.
Wait, Dr. R, can I just say one statement before Jen says something?
Maybe.
I live by this statement. If you cannot control it, do not get upset by it.
Okay.
So based on that, Jen, you're up.
So wait. Is the corollary true then? If you can control it, therefore you should get upset by it?
I do, yes.
Well,
If I can't control the situation, I just say, well, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. Let's just make the best of it. But if it's something I can control and I can make it a better situation, I will fight like heck to make it a better situation.
I feel like that's some kind of twisted version of the Serenity Prayer.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what my mother has taught me my whole entire life. If you cannot control it, do not get upset by it.
But if you can control it, there's no reason to get upset. So don't get upset, period, is the logical thing. I mean, as glib as that sounds. But Jen, what were you about to say?
What was the question?
Sorry, I messed
What do you
up.
think about those Yankees trades?
Oh, amazing. So I was thinking when Corinne was talking, I was thinking, but we control so much more than we think we do. So
There you go.
what was the question?
I don't recall now.
Oh,
We were
yes.
talking about, yes. What are we doing to support
Change.
our
Thank
clients
you. Got
in
it.
this time of change?
Got it. So, first of all, we're giving them one thing to focus on. So if you can pick out one thing, when your kids are young and they're like trying to clean up the playroom, this was always my allegory for clients. Like one of my kids in particular just couldn't handle
Just get your
everything
headset.
at once, especially if there were changes from playtime to like clean up,
Sure.
with go to bed or whatever. So I would say, let's pick up the yellow blocks. And the minute we isolated one thing out, that child would like calm down and be able to handle it. So
Sure.
the thing is, there are always things spinning around. So you have to pick one thing that you can put your finger on and control at the moment, and then everything else starts to come into control. But another thing that I always say to the clients in the weight room, especially, is because they're like, I don't have time for this. I can't. There's a saying, it's not mine, but if you don't make time for your health, you will make time for your illness.
Sure.
And then I look at them and I say, listen to that and repeat it again. Like, if you don't make time for your health, you're going to make time for your illness. So that is one thing that they can control. And again, once you start to put some sort of order in your universe, in your world, everything else starts to come into to play. It just starts to like go into.
It's very profound, Jen, and I've been having conversations with people and saying that part of the problem with today's world is that the world has gotten extremely small and extremely fast. So tragedies have always happened, but when World War II was going on, it was over there.
Right.
You would hear reports, you would hear them days later. Now, at the same time, due to the wonderfulness of social media, now we're expected to carry the burdens simultaneously
everything.
of what's going on in Afghanistan, of COVID, of all the politics stuff. It's too much for any person to bear.
Shut the news off.
Shut it off.
Shut it off. So I was okay with the Afghanistan stuff until the dog stuff started coming out. And then I was like, I am out of this. Like, I wasn't really, there's nothing you can do with what's going on over there. And there's enough going on in our backyards to handle. And I'm not empathetic to what's happening over there. It's like, it's a humanitarian crisis.
Right. But the point is, Jen, is that what
Well,
you were
watch it.
saying, you can only
can't.
handle so much. The best
Correct.
thing to do is to handle one thing
Correct.
at a time. And in order to do that, it's a good idea to get rid of everything that's inundating your life.
Yeah.
I mean, we think that we're
Yeah.
so strong that we can handle it all,
Yeah.
but ultimately it gets to anyone.
It's too much. It's too much.
Right?
Yeah.
Trish, is that your
And-
experience?
Yeah, I agree. You got to focus on one thing. because otherwise everything clouds everything, and then if you're trying to focus on one thing, it just pushes everything to the
Yeah.
side.
Good.
So
Well, see,
Yeah.
I have a different idea. I have the idea of like you need to be informed, but same concept of what I live by. Like, I don't, I want to be informed, but I can't control the situation. So there's not a lot I can do about it. So I'll stay informed. I won't let it clout my judgment. And do
If
the
you
best
could
we
do
can.
that, fine. But I have to tell you, a lot of people think they can,
it's
and right now everyone is
permeates.
freaking out.
yeah, it permeates.
So yeah, everyone thinks that they can handle it, that they're that strong, and that they understand what they can control and what they can't, and that they're not going to worry about it. But the fact that you can't control it in itself can be very disempowering,
Right.
When it's not
It
ideal.
is.
Yeah. Also, so much of it is hyped up and manufactured that what you're watching is like a really big adrenaline dump on the body. And it's when you shut the news off, you get a better perspective of what's really happening in the environment around you, which is, there are basically good people all over the place. If we watch the news, we're going to think that the world is just evil, vile people. And that's out there, but
It's-
not
yeah.
to the extent that we've been told.
Right, it's a skewed
Right.
perspective, right? It
Real bad.
alters our whole GPS and of
Yeah.
where we want to go and what we want to have.
Yeah, the news I think has been called the masters of chaos. Is that what the phrase is?
It's something to that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
So,
So Rebecca, what is it that you would recommend that our clients focus on? The one thing that they can focus on that will line up everything else.
Oh my God, just positivity. Focus on the positive things. I mean, I basically unfriended anybody that wasn't showing me puppy dogs and rainbows last year on
Well
Facebook.
done.
That's why I'm on social media, right? I want to see you with your kids,
Cat
The good stuff.
videos.
with your dog. I don't care who you voted for. Just, puppy dogs and rainbows.
That's
So,
it. That's the new rule.
Focus on the positive things that you
Mhm.
can. And as Corinne said, as human beings, we still have to stay informed. But, I watch maybe 20 minutes of the local news every night because I get a little bit of everything. I'm informed, done. During the pandemic, I was guilty of watching, we still are, but last year watching like too much CNN. And then I was finding myself like, So it's just
You're right.
informed
I only watch the local news. I turn
yeah,
on the
and
news
then
for 15
the
minutes.
rest is noise.
Mhm.
The rest is noise.
Yeah.
Everyone has such strong opinions and strong views, and I try to stick to the puppy dog and rainbow, and that helps me.
I think we could all agree that puppy dogs and rainbows are good things.
Yeah,
HGTV.
Yeah, definitely.
And
That's
and Jen, of course, one thing that we can control that sometimes we think is out of our control is our own health
Mhm.
and it's our own immune system. So let everyone know what we're doing in order to support people with their immune systems that could be at risk now that we're going to have weather changing, circumstances changing. We have this
Wow.
Delta variant.
Sorry, did I roll my eyes too loud? So we're putting out our immunity program again, which helps people boost their immunity. So our program is a detox and a fat burning weight loss program, but it's a fat loss program. But when you're detoxing, you get those toxins that we talked about earlier out of your body. And our immunity boost program has that detox component, but we add in a couple of immunity supplements. And what Jackie, who's not here, is running right now is a promotion where you get a bonus bottle of immunity supplements to go along with the 2 that are included with the program. And we are also doing an immunity boost bundle, if anyone's interested in that. And we have given a little bit of a discount to encourage people to take immunity boosting supplements. So if you're not on a program or you don't come to see us, you can purchase supplements through us that will help your immunity. So,
Right. Stress, depletion, toxicity.
Yeah.
These are things that all suppress the immune system.
Right.
So these are things that we want to improve
Correct.
always, but especially now when the stress is being dialed up.
Yeah.
Even though for some people like Corinne, there's going to be less stress because the kids are going to be away for large portions of the day.
Yeah. So clean eating and sleep are 2 of the best things you can do to keep your body healthy. And they are probably the least expensive and the easiest to handle because anyone can control that.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Good control.
Cool. Clean eating and sleep. That's it. Well said. Anything else anyone wants to discuss before we get going?
Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Andrew.
Yes. Hi. I'm so bad. I'm so bad.
Hey, guys.
I should be saying hello. I should be saying make sure to like and to share and to
Yes.
comment
Make
and to
sure
do
to
whatever
please
else.
like
you're
and
supposed to do.
share.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you are all following our Facebook page, but if you're not,
This is useful stuff. We get a lot of good feedback from people. So listen, I don't want to stay too long. You know about company and fish, and they both start to smell.
Half an hour.
If we're around for too long, right? So we're going to say goodbye. Everyone have a great Labor Day weekend. Oh,
Bye, everybody.
we're not going to be doing next Tuesday. We're going to skip next Tuesday. But we are always with you in spirit.
all right.
All right,
Bye,
everyone.
guys.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Take care.